Hello, welcome to the Tuesday Night Music Show. It's the trifecta tonight. We've got John in Boston, East Coast.
Oh,
We've got Jay
Yeah,
in
West Coast.
West Coast, Temecula, California, beautiful Temecula. And
Yep.
I'm Brian in the Midwest. So we're representing kind of
you're
both
Switzerland.
sides in the middle a little bit. You know? Kind of the full gamut.
West side is supposed to be a thing you can make her.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. I thought we'd have a little fun tonight and just kind of do a couple rounds of floor fillers by topic. I thought I'd pick the first topic. We'd go around until we exhausted ourselves. And then maybe John could pick the next topic or the next category.
Okay.
Then Jay could pick the next one. And then
Sounds
I'll
good.
go again. And when we can't do this anymore, we'll turn the recording off and you got a show. What do you say?
That works.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Floor fillers, mobile DJ, we're talking here, remember? Okay. Weddings, parties, whatever, mobile DJ stuff. Let's do rock and roll, floor fillers. I'll go first. It'd be rock and roll. I love rock and roll. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. John, what do you got?
I would go old time rock and roll Bob Seger.
Jay.
AC/DC shook me all night long.
Well played. Well played. I'm going to go all the small things. Blink 182, right? That's who did that? That's right. Yeah.
That
Okay.
is-
I'll go on that one. John.
I will take a Don't Stop Believing for Journey.
Nice. Jay.
Good one. Jimmy Eat World, the middle.
Nice. That's a pretty good floor filler.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm going to go, let's see, what should I go with? Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's a floor filler for the right crowd. John, go right
That is. Yeah. 90 plus rockers absolutely will totally
Dig it.
vibe on that.
I like it.
Yep.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Should we stay in the modern? Should we do Killers, Mr. Brightside?
Yeah, there you go. Beautiful.
Yeah, that works. I'll stay a little more 90s. I will say Lit, Own Worst Enemy.
That was a big one. How about Smash Mouth All Star?
Marshmallow also. Everyone will start singing it and they'll all be standing up.
It's a sing along.
doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
For sure. They all know. There's an a cappella start and then there's a beat start. I think if you start with the one that's vocal, it's
Yeah.
Right on the sound.
Yeah.
you gotta I think that helps sells it a little
It
better.
does. It does.
But they're
And
both
everybody's seen Shrek of this generation, so they like it for that.
that they have. That they have. I'll call in one that actually I missed on the Halloween party, but I should have, and that was Fountains of Wayne, Stacy's mom.
Oh, nice.
Because that everyone knows it and everyone
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
modern
good
day
sing along.
modern day Jesse's girl. So it's that.
Another great song. Jay.
I'm going to go with not really a duet, but a collab, we'll call
Okay.
it. And I'm going to do Aerosmith with Run DMC, Walk This Way.
Nice. Well played. A little bit of everything in that one. People dig that. How about Billy Idol Moni Moni?
Yep, definitely. Definitely.
I would give you the ability to piggyback dancing with myself on that one too.
You
because
could absolutely
either
do that
one. They're
Yeah.
both. It depends if you have the whole 5 minutes, 10 seconds to kill, or you need something shorter. You go with
There's one more out there in jail. Get it.
a nice day.
Yeah. It is.
I am going to go. I don't know, and I haven't played this in a minute, but it just came to mind. I think when we were
Yeah.
doing the '90s thing and
Uh-huh.
early 2000, I'm going to go Offspring, "Pretty Fly for a White Guy."
Nice. People do like that song.
Yeah, it was that or another one by another band. That again, and I'll say it just because we could do this for days. The one I was going to go with initially was Good Charlotte, Lifestyles with Rich and the
Lifestyles.
Famous.
Yeah.
And I haven't played either one in a minute, and in my head I'm like, God, those are both good, like rock, like get people out. Yeah, a little on the punky side, but
No, that's cool. They're rock songs you play at weddings, or parties or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll do the other Billy Idol song, which would be White Wedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my
100%.
cheat. Yeah.
100%.
Also great. Now we mentioned Joan Jett, but to shine some love on the lady rockers, I think we should probably give something to the newer generation with Avril Lavigne. If you like to play Girlfriend, hey, you, I don't like your girlfriend. That's kind of that Moni energy.
Yeah.
I'll stay in the female vein. I'll go Avril Lavigne, Skater Boy.
Yeah, that's great from her too.
I'm going back. Go-Go's We Got the Beat. Did I say something that you didn't like, or
no?
I was waiting on John.
I shifted. I shifted gears.
Sure.
I shifted gears. You go back as far as Go-Go's, then I'm going to have to throw in. I'll take Stevie Nicks with Edge of 17 because that's
nice.
That's going to wake all the grandmamas and the cougars up.
Okay, and once they're awake, we'll keep them out on the dance floor with Pat Benatar. Hit me with your best shot.
Sweet. Eric in the comments, of course, pour some sugar on me, Def Leppard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That totally works.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
I suppose you want me to do another one because that was Eric's pick. That would be fair, I guess.
Sure.
Oh, Jesus. Say, I'm going around until my brain dies. Paradise City, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
And if they dig the Def Leppard, they do that too.
They will. And for a best choice, that's probably one of the most recognizable that has the right kind of party energy too.
Yeah.
For sure. If you're getting into the harder rock stuff, there's a couple that are safe that really don't take too many chances. That's kind of a free spot in the middle of the bingo card. You could do Ozzy Osbourne Crazy Train, and I don't think you'd really offend everyone because you hear it at every sporting event and every place.
Totally.
So
then I will follow with a song in the same vein, and I will say Metallica, Enter Sandman.
Oh, yeah. That one does it.
That's another sporting arena big banger that has kind of transcended generationally.
I think I'll do one more and then I'll take us off the hook because we could do this all day and let John pick a category for the next one. Okay. But I'll do one more, and it's just an obvious one. It's a gimme. It's the middle of the bingo card. Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer.
I'm surprised no one said it earlier because I thought it, but I'm like, oh, one of these guys is going to nail that. So I moved away from that.
Well, yeah, I mean, throw them out there because when people are at this show, they say, what do these DJs think are really good songs that fill the floor? And you pick the best ones. So I'm going to...
I don't play the full intro on that, though. I start at the drum roll when it comes in with that.
Me too.
That, and I start it there, and it just picks the energy up and takes off. That's just a good...
Yeah, I do the same thing. Same thing. So, John, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you pick a category, and you can run this until you are tired of running it. And then you pass it out to Jay.
Okay. Well, a similar vein, I guess. Okay. If we're going to stay on floor fillers and bangers,
floor fillers.
It's floor fillers. Floor fillers. We'll do anything that you've got on your radar that's, let's say, younger than 10 years that has managed to stick around that you've maybe started playing in 2015 or ish. I'm not going to hold you to a date, but from there forward, and anything that's working more in your younger crowd right now category.
Okay. Got it.
If you want to do stuff like that. Like this is going to be like, think of like where we were 5 years pre-lockdown and the 5 years that followed and what we've been accumulating that we're like, oh, I can't wait to get out in front of people and play this song. But right now we can't do that. Remember that whole...
This is not going to be rock anymore.
It's going to be a shorter one, but I think it'll be strong. Because it's stuff that is a good floor filler. So, John, go ahead and give us your first example. There's Jay, then it's me, and then we keep going.
All right. I'll lead off with one that's been doing surprisingly well, and I think it's just because it's so catchy, is the new Kylie, the new Lights Camera song.
Really? You're doing well with that.
I've played it a couple of times in the middle of sets, and I haven't seen anyone turn away for it. And even though it's a song that has no identifiable characteristics and nobody really knows it yet, everybody digs the vibe and likes the groove. And she's got others too that her pedigree goes all the way back to 80.
Oh yeah, I should be so lucky.
Yeah, we should be so lucky. Everybody do the locomotion, but that's older. So I like that one. If you haven't tried that one yet, just figure out where it fits in your set, and it's a good energy, and it's easy to follow, and even as a complete unknown, it's been a home run. That's something.
Right on.
Give it a shot.
Jay.
I am gonna. If this was 2014, I'm calling it as 2015 forward.
Close enough.
Absolutely.
And I think probably the biggest banger I've had in the last 10 years would have to be Uptown Funk.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
I mean, that's a staple. Yeah.
That's not going away. Do you still play the original, or do you have mixes now? Or do you have?
I have been playing the full tilt remix version of that from day one. Yeah, so it's like at least 32 seconds before you really get the track. And I just will let the intro play under whatever I'm coming out of.
right.
In that 113 to 116 zone.
I'm going to go with my favorite song from the last 10 years. And every time I get an opportunity to play it, I smile because I like it. And that would be Dua Lipa's Levitating. I love that track.
Yeah,
It's a great song.
it's a good track.
It's a floor filler.
And she's got quite the amount of choices now, because she at least gives us one or two a year, and she's consistently done so since.
Yeah,
probably.
I tell you, if I had
that's
any
the one
power,
that sticks though.
well, Dance does too from Barbie. That's
the night.
Yeah, that's if I had my power, I would have put her in the studio with Purple Disco Machine and say, "You're not coming out until you two give me a full album."
I want you to remix all your greatest hits and give us new versions.
It would sound amazing. I just think with her style and his ability, it would be phenomenal music. Really would be good stuff.
That's funny. I think the strongest one off for her was Love Again, but I can see why Levitating would work, and I can see why Dance the Night would work, because she just the stuff she, and that's going to be one of those things that we'll probably look back and say the radio station picked the hits, but if we really listen to this whole,
what did the crowd respond to?
Well, or the whole LP that came out at the time, and there were 4 singles, and the other 6 got overlooked. Like, is there anything else in there? Because we like to ring them out a little more and go, how did we miss this one? This other one that was hiding in plain sight. I've often said that, like, about artists that we're not going to get new material for. You go back and listen to some of the older stuff, and you find a gem. And it's like, why weren't we playing this? Why didn't this one take off? Because there were 5 singles on the record, and there was no more time on the radio for it. But I love finding that type stuff too. That you'd find something that is just a little off the mainstream, and you find something that's really good though. So maybe a remix album would suit her well and give us some, a little higher beat, a little more energy on some of her stuff that's a little slower. But I agree.
You want to do another round of this before we pass it off to Jay? Or?
Oh, yeah, because we didn't even touch on the 2024, 2025 stuff. You guys hitting the Chappelle Roan stuff for current events?
It's your turn. Go.
Well, I missed Pink Pony Club when it first hit, and I was just listening to it the other night. I'm like, okay, I understand, because I always check the stuff with lyrics when I get a clean version. I still go to Google and I still read through the song, because even if it's green clean, sometimes I'll still mark stuff content if it's too far. And there's a lot of stuff, because I just started like really working on my 2025 folder with the stuff that's coming in, and as squeaky clean as the lyrics are, boy, there's some steamy thoughts on some of these.
An interesting organization or lifestyle or whatever.
I mean, and I'll color tag the line of the song if it's radio clean and there's no explicit words, but I will still, for my own sense, because I'll be doing the ski resort thing coming up at the end of the month, and there's going to be all walks of life. There's going to be 7-year-olds and grandmas, and just because it says green clean doesn't mean it's an appropriate song for all crowds. And you sometimes in that situation have to play the morality police.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't stress over too much if it was all, at a bar or something and it was 18 plus or 21 plus, but some of the stuff is really starting to get a little suggestive, more so than I think we've seen, since the days of like reading, Prince lyrics off of Dirty Mind or something. and it's getting past the censors. It's like there's nothing in the song to censor, and we're still going to play it on the radio because it's a single. But I'll just offer another one that I just actually like read through, and it was the new Billie Eilish one, Lunch. But she's going to have that girl for lunch or whatever. And
no, that the content of that is very clear.
It's not a bad word in the song. But
it doesn't take much to figure out this. You know what it is? It's right up there with Miracles. It's almost hitting miracle status.
Yeah,
because she's very clear. The message she gives. There's no question about what the point of the track is.
Yeah, it's not a play on words. It's the words. Yeah,
it's the words. But it's
absolutely. It's not meant to be subtle. No, it's right there in your face.
If I had kids around, I'd skip that one. Like if you said lyrical content is concerned, that's one on my list that I would be like, yeah, I'd skip it. But if you listen to the words of Birds of a Feather.
Yeah. I mean, some of her stuff's very pretty, very poetic, and it's very
But it's still very strong. I mean, it's, till I'm rotting in the ground. I mean, there's no mincing words about what the content of the song is.
No, as a screenwriter, she writes horror films,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's, there's a little black raven sitting on her shoulder the whole
Plus, there's the BITCH word. Oh, no, SHIT that she drops in the, third verse at the beginning.
Yeah.
You're so full of... And it's one of those, it's sort of the Alice in Chains thing that some stations would let it slide.
They'll rework it for radio, or they'll just blur it or echo it out or something.
James Blunt over there.
You only get burned by that song one time.
It's all it takes at one wedding. We all got burned on CD by that one.
What's your floor filler, Jay? We've given 3 songs in 5 minutes. This is terrible.
I know,
all right.
John didn't give
content, man.
I go speed.
John didn't give one.
We can speed it from Chappelle Roan.
Yeah, you did.
I said Pink Pony I never really listened to, but Good Luck Babe is probably the one that's popping right now. So that's
okay. If you want to go new, I'd say it's Creeping, but I think it's going to be a banger, and it seems is Abracadabra by Lady Gaga.
The new Gaga. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's got legs.
Speaking of, let's go ahead and do Houdini Eminem.
I've yet to play it.
I've never played
it. People dig it. It's
I liked it when it came out, and I like the retro feel. I have not been in a circumstance where I can get that in front of somebody.
It works.
It still might be too new for a lot of my clients.
Yeah, it's worked for me. I mean, that song came out in May? But
midsummer.
It's worked well.
I'm finding younger crowds are going older music. Yeah. And I'm finding older crowds are going Kendrick and newer music. It's really weird.
Oh, sure. I mean, you could always lead in with Steve Miller and start him off with verse, chorus, and at the abracadabra break of the chorus, drop a little snippet Eminem, and then bring it back to Steve Miller to close it up. Just like, I have this, and I have that, and I have this. Yeah. And
that's the Kid Rock, Leonard Skinner.
Pretty on the nose. I mean, you could do that. Yes, you could argue that you could do that, but that song's pretty on the nose.
Yeah.
I think they hear enough of Steve Miller in the Eminem song to have to do anything more with it.
Yeah, I don't think Eminem's all that divisive anymore. I mean, he's up there. I mean, he's got
the meds are taking effect.
The song does well, though.
He's not as rambunctious as he was.
Yeah,
you asked for new stuff. I'm giving you new stuff.
This is good.
You yell at me because I give you new stuff.
No, I wish I had an opportunity. I don't play in the bars like I used to. It's just been a real busy season, and I'm not there. But that would, if I was, and that would probably be in my final hour to closing. That's going to start bringing up the energy, and then start bringing in these other ones.
It's funny. The last 10 years are an odd spot because even in my head, I'm naming 5 songs, and I'm like, I think those are all mid 2000s.
That's okay. Let's do one more round and see where we land, and then Jay, you can take over and we do something else that's a little easier and flow a little better for us.
Or artist. I mean, if there's so many song names to pick. If we just dropped an artist like Sabrina Carpenter.
Well, I was kind of looking for the floor fillers.
Sabrina
Carpenter has a lot of songs.
She does, but they're all down tempo.
I've never played a Sabrina Carpenter song.
Yeah, her stuff's all slow. I'm not saying it wouldn't never fill a floor, but it's slow. Espresso is slow, but it's well known.
The strongest.
But they're not. I'm not getting reaction from any of that stuff. I mean, nobody's asking for it. It's doing nothing. So that's why I'm looking for a specific floor filler, thinking that our
Right.
audience might say, maybe I'll try that song.
Yeah.
Instead of being vague about it, I want to be on the nose with it.
No, well, you would take like espresso and you take it into that big Lotto tune, the Big Energy Lotto,
Lotto.
and that
Yeah,
kind
Big
of
Energy.
falls in. Now you're in that fantasy groove. Now you can either dip back to Mariah Carey, or you can, you get there is like a 106 to 112 pocket, but it's they're floor fillers. You're going to get groups out to dance, but maybe early in the night where it's not so 120 BPM and higher. This is just kind of like testing the waters to see if anyone's, feeling what you're putting down.
What you're putting down.
Absolutely.
So do you have a song?
From
You did a couple.
yeah,
Okay.
I gave you Lotto, Big Energy.
Okay.
For Sabrina, definitely espresso is the go. And there's remixes that actually step that up like considerable, like 10 BPM, and it doesn't change the song all that much.
Okay. I'm gonna
Although
go.
it's all there. It's just faster, and it's got
Right.
sounds like a.
I'm gonna go Lizzo.
Couple
About damn time.
Good. That's
I
a
think
nice
you're gonna get a good reaction out of any crowd with that.
That's
I'm gonna go Fisher losing it.
Yeah, that
I
totally
get a
works.
great reaction from that. That's
Yeah.
the song to play.
100%.
Big Energy song to play.
100%.
So I think
I would just Eric in the chat just had mentioned a little boo thing that he's like that, and that's a callback. I mean, it's current and it's super short. I think it's like 2.5 minutes at best.
it's not even that.
But it throws back to
might
what
be under 2, but it's still strong.
it throws back to. You can either go into "Got to Be Real" or the other one, like the Charlene tune. It's either "Got to Be Real" or "The Best of My Love."
Best of My Love Emotions.
So either of those two will fit in the mix if you're trying to stretch it out a little longer. So that gives you either new and you throw back into disco, or you're in disco and you throw to new, and now you're in, what's something that's newer and modern.
Do you want to do one more and throw it to Jay?
I just think if I got anything just off the top of my head, because like I said, I've just been digging into the 2025 crate, and I'm really looking for.
Well, I mean, to use your own standard, go back
Bang.
10 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
It doesn't have to be brand new.
Nobody mentioned. Did anybody mention 24K Magic? That was a good one. It still does well. You can still play it.
That's one you just have to put a little star next to, because when it goes, let me break it down, like you got to get the song, because that's your out. Because at that point, it just kind of goes into this.
Well, I mean, that falls in the same vein as Finesse with Cardi B and Bruno Mars. I mean, that's another great starter at like 105, I think, or 104.
Love the song.
Yeah,
and
it's a great,
weird.
It's a great kind of throwback style, but it always seems to work for me.
I'll just throw it out there. The one that I didn't know which one was going to stick. I really didn't. But it seems like the one that stuck from Weekend was "I Can't Feel My Face." That's the one they keep going back to.
Yeah. I mean, Blinding Lights was like the only
that was
track.
big for a minute.
Well, because it was the only track that seemed to get released in 2020. Remember, it was like
that's older even, Jay. That was like 2018, and we've had that as a hot hit for like 3 straight years. And I know
it seemed like 2020 was its time. And what I could have sworn that came out in 2020.
I think you're right. Right around that.
I'm going to think it's older than we think it is.
I think 2020, because I seem to recall it being the only track that it was voted biggest track of 2020, because I thought it was the only big track that dropped in 20. Like everyone put the brakes on, and he got in right under the wire with that.
According to Google, it was released March 1st of 2020. So that was like our COVID song.
Exactly. And it came out exactly at COVID. So it became this like, no one else released anything because everyone's like holding on. And you took like 5 or 6 months and they're like, well, I guess I'll play Blinding Lights again.
Yeah.
But then it was
CeeLo Green has a great track called Big City, Blinding Light, Big City, or Big City, Blinding Light. An old track.
I just remember because when we hit 2020 New Year's into 21, that was the jam. But then when we hit 21 into 22 New Year's, it was still the jam. It was big.
He performed at the Super Bowl in 21, I think.
Yeah.
I think Sugar by Maroon 5, I want to say that's older than 10 years. Or is that, November, okay. November of 2019.
It's like,
well, I don't know if he's trying to talk about the
Sugar, or is he trying to talk about
15 for Sugar. Yeah, that's
Okay.
I mean,
that's,
Google just told me that Blinding
reasonable.
Lights was released March 1st, 2020. That's
Yeah,
just, but and I am seeing also here, it looks like they dumped the video number 29th, 2019. So yeah.
but that's a new phenomenon where like the album comes out in December, but I'm dropping my first single in January.
Yeah.
And then my new video comes out in February, but I'm not releasing the album until, so that March 1st might be when the whole thing was released, but the video may have been released pre.
Well, the video is March 1st, but then everything else says 2020 except right here. There's another YouTube weekend Vivo that is November 19th, so maybe it was the early release or something. It was right around
Well,
there.
put it this way. I for the longest time, I played the video version of Uptown Funk because the video got released, at least on promo only, before the audio.
Yeah,
So I had to download the video version.
sure.
So it could be one of those kind of.
And Bruno's right back on the top of our charts because he's with that rose girl, the Blackpink girl with APT.
She's
APT.
red or
That's up at the
No, it's the girl from Korea.
the Korean game,
It's the
drinking
APT
game.
track.
Yeah,
You will be playing it by the summer, Brian. You won't have a choice.
and you'll always be mixing with Mickey from Tony Basil.
Yeah, you
So
won't have a
on
choice.
either side of it because
that one. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Jay. Or Phil,
let's go.
You get
Let's
to
go.
pick it.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go for tracks. I'll give you the decade.
Make up your own category.
And the category is tracks that no one is going to argue are not from the 80s, that are 80s tracks, like bangers from the 80s. So it can really be anything, but they've got to be a floor filler from between
An 80s floor filler.
Yeah. So it could be new wave, it could be rock, it could be whatever, but it's got to be you're playing an 80s night and you're sticking to 1980s.
Oh, you're playing an 80s night. Okay. All right. 80s
So
night
you
floor
need to
filler.
keep banging them over the head with tracks.
Go.
So I'm going to give the first one because it's always been a fave of mine. And I don't think it ever got the love it deserved. And that's Information Society, Pure Energy.
Yeah.
I just love that
Mind.
track.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a great track. Great track.
And I don't think it gets the love it deserves. And I don't think people know about it as much as I think they should. So that's my first one. So Brian.
Okay, I'm American, first of all, just to say I'm not British. All right. I'm from freaking America.
Pure energy.
The track is New Order Bizarre Love Triangle. A lot of people would say Blue Monday, but no, it's Bizarre Love Triangle.
Yeah, I like Bizarre Love Triangle better than Blue Monday.
I'm not judging these songs myself. I'm just saying what I get a better reaction from is Bizarre Love Triangle.
I think
the-
Information
my crowd.
Society is an American group, by the way.
Information Society is from Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
They're Midwest.
No,
I always thought they were European. But
nope, they're from Minneapolis.
all right, John.
Wow, the stuff that just drips of 80s, you'd have to take Dead or Alive with You Spin Me Round.
Right on. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There you go. God, so many choices. So
80s
many
night.
choices.
It makes a difference. It's 80s.
Oh, yes, it's 80s night.
And
Yeah, yeah.
Can I get a remix on that?
Yeah. God, it was right there. You know what? I'm going to go with Duran Duran. And even then, there's so many choices, but there's no way you don't know this is 80s. I'm going to go Reflex.
Yeah, that's very 80s.
That's 80s.
It's incredibly 80s.
Yeah.
How about Raw Bass and DJ Easy Rock? It Takes Two.
That's
Yep.
great.
That
Absolutely.
totally works.
That
That
totally,
reeks of 80s.
totally has an
Oh,
awesome
totally.
energy. Well, we could probably all pick a different one from this group that we like, but if I threw Pet Shop Boys Gravel Up Into the Tornado, which direction would you spin it versus which way I'd spin it? I like West End Girls. That doesn't go wrong because you're in that. But I mean, I'm sure you guys think of different ones when I say them.
That's my favorite Pet Shop Boys song.
I was going to say that. I would have gone with West End. So
The reason it's so cool is because it's a Bobby Orlando track. It's the only Bobby Orlando track that they did, and EMI got a hold of it and did what they did with it over in Europe. But the only song that sounds like West End Girls by the Pet Shop Boys is West End Girls by the Pet Shop Boys because it wasn't written or produced the same way everything else was. So that's why that song is so unique.
yeah, just
Observation.
throwing a bone to the peanut gallery. DJ Eric is telling us "Stepping Out" by Joe Jackson.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
I would argue whether or not it's a floor filler, but it's a great song.
I don't know if it would fill a floor. I think it's a great 80s track.
Yeah, yeah.
Brian K is adding Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. That's a floor filler.
It's a floor filler.
Still
Sort of
playing it to this day. Banger.
My track that you could probably argue I could maybe mix these two together if I slowed this one down and sped up Whitney Houston. One of my fave 80s dance tracks is Erasure, Chains of Love.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's very nice.
You never lose with that track. Never lose with that track.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, 80s floor filler, undeniably 80s. We know it's 80s. You can't argue it. There's so many places you could go, but I'm going to go ahead and just pick one that I didn't play up until about 6 or 7 years ago. I'd never played it before, and when I played it, it exploded, and that would be Laura Branigan, Gloria.
Really?
That
I don't
does
know
well
that
out
I
here
ever
too.
play it.
That does well out here too.
I had never played the song before, and
I don't think I've ever played it.
I was doing I think it was a 60th birthday party, and it was a cool, chill little event, and it was a group of ladies dancing, and I did conga, Miami Sound Machine.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking, 80s female vocalist. You know what? I've never played this track, but something in my head is telling me this would work, and I played it. Dude, it was the game changer. They went nuts.
I got to add that to the repertoire then. Yeah.
A lot of, and I mentioned it to some DJs. Like, I can't believe how well this song did. And they'll be, yeah, I've always played that. We're even. So
you know what? It's weird. There are some female tracks that we forget about or add. When I first started, if I wanted to get a dance floor full of women on a slower track, it was Dusty Springfield, Son of a Preacher Man.
there was a time for that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was early in the night. You just knew you were getting the girls out.
Yeah.
And then you try to get them to go faster. It was, probably my first year or two of being a DJ. And I'm like, I remember DJ saying, if you want to get the girls out, can't go wrong with Dusty Springfield, Son of a Preacher Man. They'll all sing it. They'll all come out. And they would. So it's like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. John, what do you got for us?
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. That is an unwritten law that if you can get the women dancing, then the guys else matters. The guys are all going to be wallflowers, and eventually they'll creep in. Maybe.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
All right. Well, I was going to kick open the doors to freestyle and give us some
nice
here. If we're going to maybe look at like Cover Girls or Expose. There's just so much.
Floor filler one.
Floor filler would probably be Point of No Return. If you had to pick, because that's like 124, that's up there, taking me to the Point of No Return. Not the New Shoes one.
No, I know you're talking about Expose.
Yeah,
I think that's
a good one.
That still works.
If you put a gun to my head and you said make them dance and pick a freestyle song and make them dance,
George Lamont.
Yeah, no. I do Shannon's Let the Music Play.
I was thinking that too.
That would be my smart bomb.
Because I'm not you guys are more expert on freestyle than me, but Shannon's my.
It's so well known.
That's the thing. It's like the low hanging fruit of
international.
Freestyle.
It's like they know it in Europe. They know it in America. The
original 12-inch mix of it is probably the best because there's lots of mixes of it, and they start.
I'm a radio edit guy, man.
Weird. It is. It's basically a radio edit. And
I kill with the radio edit. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, that's what you want.
That's the signal.
Normal start.
And they come out. Yeah.
Yep.
But
we're going to go across the pond on this, and we're going to get them a little lower BPM zone. But I'm confident when they hear Holly, I believe his name is, when they hear his voice and realize we are rocking Relax by Frankie Goes to Holly.
Oh, yeah.
I think they will hear the call and respond.
Nice.
Make their way out when he does this. Boom.
I'm going Men Without Hats safety dance. Final answer.
That works. That track always works.
I've said this several times, but Stevie's 27 years old, and she loves that song, and she thinks that from 1980 to 1989, we all just played the safety dance on loop because she says it's so great. But what really happened was it was here for about 2-3 weeks, and you never heard it again.
No, it came back 25 years later, 30 years
until
later.
It came back like on some, compilations in the mid 90s. of like British
Yeah.
top 40 stuff. That's Canadian, and it's the regular version, not the remix. I do really well with the radio edit of Safety Dance Me Without Hats. It never fails.
Yep.
Never fails.
John, what do you got?
Well, I didn't want Madonna to be left out of the conversation. If I had to think back to the early 80s, what I was doing, she was just jam after jam. I would take Lucky Star as being the one that really got everybody out, because that would work.
That's the one.
I mean, there was a bunch, but I made it a point to get the extended 12 on was it Sire?
Man, the album version's wonderful on that.
Yeah. I don't think you're wrong on it being the one. I just think the close second. I'll go with what I think is the close second. How's that?
Sure.
And I'll go with Holiday.
You know what? I can't say no to that.
Yeah, I think another example of her power. Just if you need to pack a floor.
Mm-hmm. Oddly enough, I think Like a Virgin was probably her most successful album, but I can't think of it. Maybe Material Girl, but really, if I've got to pick a Madonna song from the 80s, that's a floor filler, certified 100%. It's Like a Prayer. That's the song.
You cut the beginning off.
That's still got legs today too.
You can even play the beginning of that because that's the signal.
Yeah, they know that intro.
Oh, and it gives them a chance to get out on the floor.
Yeah.
So you could even leave it in. In fact, I love doing that. From a dead stop, something stops, and you hear that boom, boom, that drum. Kill the lights.
Yeah.
And then you say, ooh, and it's their signal.
Yeah, the Life is a Mystery part. Like, bartender, hold my order. I'll be back. This is
I'm sorry. I gotta go.
There you go.
So I don't know. It's how I roll. But no, I do well with it. I do well with it.
All right, we're off Madonna. John, where are you?
I want some funky stuff in there too. I want like Word Up from Cameo.
Nice.
I want something that's got a little bump to it. And
right on, me.
I've always been happy with it.
Now I think this is 80s, and I would, if you came to me for an 80s night and said, "Give me a funky 80s track," I would play this. So if one of you pipes back like, "Oh my God, that was 78, 79," I won't be shocked.
Okay.
But I'm going to go Brothers Johnson Stomp.
80. You just made it.
Yeah. I thought it was 80.
I think 81. I'm pretty confident it's 80.
Yeah. I didn't think it was a 7, but I also thought, man, that blurred line between 79 and 81, a lot of stuff came and went. By the way, fun fact, side note, technically the very first album released in the 80s.
Rush, Permanent Waves?
Yep. Yeah.
How did I know that? I'm a freaking savant.
We might have covered that ground.
Yeah, turn.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, if it's an 80s night, it's specifically an 80s night, just to be clear here, I wouldn't dump this off just anywhere. It's got to be the right crowd. But when I have the right crowd and I drop this, it's one of those songs they've forgotten about, but they love it. And it's the 80s thing, of course. And it's more of a rocker compared to some of the other ones we've been talking about. But that would be Jay Giles' band Centerfold. That one does really well at 80s nights.
I can see it working. I can totally see it working.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, if you have a party on Valentine's Day, I would go with Love Stinks. Like if it's not,
probably not a floor filler
for all of us mix, for all of us
Centerfold.
All of us mix in Boston. Every time that plays, we're hearing, "Oh, roll the rattling bog down in the valley." Oh, it's like, oh, it's Centerfold. It's just takes an old thing and just kind of marches along to the same beat. But
freaking Irish people,
it's appropriating.
They created music. They created music.
Yes, we did. Sipping our mead.
Yeah. What do you got for us, John?
I don't know, we could stay funky, we could stay energy. Let's get back up into like the dance. Let's break the dance floor loose. We're probably all going to have a different opinion on this one, but I'm going to pick Gap Band, right? And I want to land with something like, because I just did this at a Christmas party for a group, and I played Party Train, and I haven't played that in, my God, 20 years. I didn't lead him in with conga, but by God, if I didn't have like a 50-person snake going in and out and around all the tables, and like Wow, I haven't seen that since I was like a teenager when I used to play that song.
You still do it.
Dating myself. They still do it. They haven't,
They
it's
still
just,
do
it's
it.
just, it's got that choo-choo beat. It's even more so than conga, because if I don't have Latin people, they don't find the groove, they don't feel the vibe. Or Jump in the Line, Rock Your Body on Time. I like the, choo-choo train songs. But I like Party Train. Do you like different Gap bands, or because they had a bunch of
Depends on what crowd is in front of me.
Yeah.
If I've got an older urban crowd in front of me, I'm playing Outstanding.
Yeah, Outstanding
track
track, stellar track too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you could do
Burn Rubber would be great.
totally do Burn Rubber.
Drop the Bomb has always been a big request.
You drop the bomb on me.
Yeah.
Yep. There's so many you can do. You can do early in the morning. I mean,
early in the morning.
But they have a lot of really strong tracks.
They do, but they all sound. They're all just time locked into like 80s. Like that's always just going to be what.
Yeah. If you're in an 80s funk set or 80s night, any of those tracks, yeah. You Drop the Bomb on Me and Party Train are probably their strongest. From a I mean, when I started doing this, those are the tracks that you played for all audiences.
So we're doing like high energy funk.
Do whatever you want.
I came around to something higher beat. I wasn't trying to.
I had to verify, and verification.
No, it's still 80. The category is still 80.
Still 80s. Had to verify.
Well, you're the one who picked the category.
I did, but I want to make sure that I'm not picking a category and making
have that conversation with yourself. Yeah.
Myself said go with it. We are going no
Adamant
on the dance floor.
Nice, Midnight Star.
Midnight Star.
Yes, that's a strong song.
Radio.
And I haven't played that in a minute. Side note, Eric, I read today that David Johansen is suffering from brain cancer and not doing well.
Stage 4, not good.
Yeah, not doing well. Bedridden right now after a fall in December.
There's a lot of 80s songs that I personally like, but I'm really trying to think of the floor fillers. And I guess I'm also trying to think of ones that, had staying power that people still know and they enjoy.
I got one nobody has said yet. I'm actually.
Me too.
I'll say it next set.
There's tons of them.
I know, but that's the thing. We all have that zone of like, how has no one said this?
I mean, I could go late 80s, and I'm almost tempted to do that, but I'm not. I'm going to stay in the pocket that you kind of clarified, where it was like, it's undeniably
80s.
You're not going to say, is it a 70s song? Is it a 90s song? So undeniable 80s song that still has legs for some stupid reason is Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
100%. Yeah. No, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The carefree party atmosphere tune.
I think we tend to get too technical about like, hey man, it's an 80s night. Okay, I got you. I got this B-side that nobody. No. It's an 80s night. They want to hear Girls Just Want to Have. They want to hear what they know.
Have fun.
They do.
They got to hear what they know.
Sometimes the cheesier the better. And
they're going to come out for this stuff, whether you want to play it or not, whether you want to hear it or not. They're coming out for this stuff.
100%. John?
I'm going to take Yaz with 2 Z's for Don't Go. And
nice.
That's one of the first Euro things I stumbled across when I started DJing. I'm like, this doesn't sound like anything else going on.
Nice.
And I thought that was just a great track, and I still play that one.
I'm going to hold back on my one that I can't believe no one has said and say another one that I can't believe nobody has gone to, and that is the often maligned and misunderstood lyrics that you will hear girls sometimes yell, just can't get it up.
Yeah.
And we will go with the Depeche Mode, just can't get enough.
Nice.
I mean, you play that, like just that hook starts and people are like, oh, dance floor.
Okay. The Cure, Just Like Heaven.
Totally.
Whoosh.
All right. Yeah, that's totally a good wish. And not have to follow that with Friday I'm in Love behind it, because that's also another big whoosh.
Well, if we want to keep the 3-point scoring coming, I'm going to have to bring out
The Cure.
Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Sweet.
Come on, Eileen.
Nice.
We're just going for those. We're just going for baskets on this. We're not
just all net.
This isn't like let's stay in the zone of just.
I'm going to try to show them how cool I am.
Yeah, Robert Smith can. Yeah, let's play Burn.
Yeah.
That's a
on the side 2 of Ministries with Sympathy album.
Yeah.
The second track is.
Oh, by the way, they announced their tour today, performing songs from With Sympathy and
With
Twitch.
Sympathy. Nice.
Twitch.
Yeah.
And Thrill Kill is
Is half the tour of my life with Thrill Kill.
Nice.
So I will be doing my best to get tickets to go to the Los Angeles Palladium show for that one.
I've been rewatching Twin Peaks, and I'm watching the third season, which came out in 2017, 25 or more than 25 years after the second season ended.
The original Twin Peaks extended into 2017.
There was a third season in 2017.
Oh wow!
They brought back most everybody.
See, I never got into that show, so I thought it was only an 80s or 90s show.
Yeah, well, it was
whatever.
very 90s, very early 90s.
Okay.
At any rate, Twin Peaks is kind of like, I don't know if I'm a really big fan of Van Gogh, but I can dig it, That's kind of how I look at David Lynch stuff. Sometimes it's dreamy, sometimes it's nightmarish, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's campy, sometimes it's novella soap opera, sometimes it's crime drama. It's just interesting to see everything he does and then think about maybe Quentin Tarantino took something from this homage to all these different styles. But at any rate, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I just saw an episode where in the Roadhouse, and you remember the Roadhouse in the first one where they'd have those bands playing? Well, you didn't see it. So there's a bar, right, in the place, in the show, like in the middle of town, and it's live bands all the time, or something going on the stage all the time. And they have been closing out the episode with the band playing a song, whoever the band happens to be.
Right.
And the last one I just watched was Nine Inch Nails. They had Nine Inch Nails up there doing music.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So,
very cool.
ladies and gentlemen, Nine Inch Nails, and
Holy, really?
Yeah, kind of interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, that's David
That
Lynch.
is interesting.
He's all over the place. Sorry, I don't know who's.
But I dig it. But I digress.
I think it's your turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. 80s song. Oh boy, something cool that people just respond well to.
Yeah.
Low hanging fruit. The one that's fun to drop and people just laugh and dance is Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up.
100%.
As cheesy as it is, it's still
It's gone away, but it hasn't.
Everybody points at one another like this.
It's a sing along now.
And
it was never a sing along, but now it's a sing along. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's weird the way that's worked. It's like certain tracks have done that of late. Like in the last 2 or 3 years, Natasha Bedingfield, whatever.
Natasha Bedingfield,
Unwritten.
Oh my God. Yes.
Every girl in the place sings.
Yes.
Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah. 1,000 Miles. Yeah. All
my God. Like every word.
It's Friday.
Like,
Friday.
whoa.
Got to get down on Friday. Like all those.
What is going on here?
Ones are coming back.
This is nutsy.
Oh, great.
John, what do we got?
This just in from John Young. I think he wanted to volunteer Huey Lewis with The Heart of Rock and Roll is Still Beating. I think he would want this on the list, and he would say that still fills his floors in Minnesota.
See, I would have gone. I want a new drug.
Me too. Me too.
I think
Same energy.
I don't know. I think I want a new drugs a little more upbeat.
Want a new drug?
Or even Power of Love. I mean,
Power of Love was my alter.
It's slower, but
my favorite Huey Lewis in the new song is Heart and Soul. But I think if I had to, I love that track. But if I had to play Huey Lewis in the new song for an audience, I want a new drug.
I think there's that sense of knowledge that they
we gotta give a nod to Huey. Huey knew what he was doing. He just banger. He had albums with 6 singles. I think that's how we keep monetization here on the channel.
Probably, yeah.
And speaking of which,
DJ Event Planner.
Yes, there we go. We got to make sure we get that in there. Yeah,
you can learn more about them in the description of this video on YouTube. Thank you, DJ Event Planner, for being one of our proud and loyal channel sponsors.
Yep. Have we hit the clock?
Not quite. We're almost running out the clock. We might as well just run it out on this topic. Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
There's like a lot of good stuff coming in the chat.
We could do like a lightning
between Brian and Eric too. So
to wrap it up.
Well, do you want to do? We could keep this going. Do you want to do? Some other period of music and
or another set of decade or something.
Couple rounds.
You want me to do a quick lightning round to wrap up the show?
Sure.
Fine. Let's just go to one of my favorite places, 70s disco. Let's do 70s disco.
No failed disco.
Huh?
70s no failed disco. Like how much time do we have?
Yeah, no failed disco. No failed disco. There you go. And we're going to do it as a loose term. We're going to do disco according to our audience, not necessarily disco according to, hardcore, disco BSR on disco night. This is what our audience perceives as disco.
The mainstreams.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, September.
Okay. What do you got?
Okay. Me? I'll go Do You Want a Funk. I think it's Sylvester. Yeah.
Oh, anything by him. Well, I'm going to go back to one that I questioned for 80s that I know is not 80s, and that's Heat Wave, Groove Line.
Nice.
I would, if I had a 3-hour version, I'd play it.
While we're on Heat Wave, let's do Boogie Nights too.
Yeah. Yep. Good one.
I'm going to take Born to Be Alive, Patrick Hernandez.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to surprise both of you with this one. I'm going Commodore's Machine Gun.
Well, yeah.
It's got that. It's instrumental, but
disco funk, I think, is what they're classifying that as these days.
Oh, okay. I mean, if it's got to be more disco.
No. We're going by crowd rules, not strict idiot me being a purist.
I mean, it worked in the movie Boogie Nights. I don't know what more proof.
It totally worked in Boogie Nights. And it works.
Well, a lot of songs worked in Boogie Nights.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Oh, my turn, perhaps. I'm going to go. We mentioned it earlier. Emotions, Best of My Love.
Beautiful song.
100%. John?
It's me?
Yeah.
Well, on the Speed Pass. And You Should Be Dancing, Bee Gees. That's up there.
Nice.
Good one. I, of course, have to bring a movie classic in. We're going to go with Dance, 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 the theme song
Yowza.
from Mother Jugs and Speed by Paul Jabara.
There it is.
So let's go. Let's do, I don't know. I want to do MFSB with TSOP. Mother, Father, Sister, Brother, The Sound of Philadelphia.
Yes.
That
one, yeah. That was the theme to Candlepit Bowling out here in Boston. So it just kind of lost some of its disco luster when Don was talking about the candlepins. Welcome to Candlepin Bowling. But
Bob Gamere, I believe. That was Bob Gamere.
Was it?
I believe it was Bob Gamere.
I think it's a fun song. You can play it. If you got a disco crowd, they'll dig it.
100%.
Okay, so you want a better answer than that? Disco Inferno.
Oh, they're both good.
I was just going to say that too.
But can you imagine how hard it is to search a song that has like 8 letters of abbreviations? And it's MFBSB by TSOP. Like, I'm never going to find that in my search.
Some people think it's Mother Effin' Son of a B, but it's Mother, Father, Sister, Brother.
And Mother Effin' Soul Band.
TSOP is The Sound of Philadelphia.
It is The Sound of Philadelphia. If you can find that, you're going to love the tune because it's catchy as hell.
You want to hear it? I listen to public radio on a Sunday night around 3 a.m.
Jay has no idea what we're talking about, and that's okay.
We'll try after because that's an amazing song.
It's a major track. We'll play it for you.
Did you get one?
It's the theme song to Soul Train, for Christ's sake.
Okay. Then that would totally work.
I'm gonna do a lost classic, which is going to challenge our viewers who made it this far into the broadcast to go look up Mandalay by La Flavour, Flavour, I think it's spelled.
Mandalay. I thought that was the Gibson brothers.
It's Flavour, and it can be spelled with or without a U. It could be spelled as flavor or FLAV.
Oh, the Gibson brothers did
the other one. Yeah, Cuba.
In Cuba.
Yeah.
That's who gets
same kind of a way up high energy disco.
Very similar.
If you've never heard that one and you give that a listen, you'd be like, wow, this just rips. And that was like
Monterey is somewhere between the Gibson brothers and Case and the Sunshine Band. I don't know why, but
it's like 134, 136. It's cruising.
I'm gonna help bring back some of the viewers that are now confused.
Go look it up, kids. Trust me, you won't be disappointed.
The Bee Gees, Night Fever. There you go. There's something you've actually heard before.
Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive.
There you go.
Also great.
Yep, all day.
Yeah. Weather Girls. Neil deGrasse Tyson said that it's impossible for it to be physically raining men, and he's disproved it with science.
That's an 80s song, by the way.
It's still disco.
But that's okay. It's for our layman crowd who will not know the difference.
Yeah.
I'll
probably play it on Sunday when I go do this gig that I got to do. So
I'm gonna bring in a Queen from the music scene.
Disco.
Oh yeah,
Oh, a queen. I thought you meant queen.
a Queen, not,
Oh, a
not
Queen.
the band Queen.
Oh,
no.
a
A diva queen. That's a different kind.
A
Okay,
diva
different.
queen.
A queen.
Okay.
And I am going to use a track written by Paul Jabara from, of course, fame from Mother Jugs. And
When he
Speed.
knows something, he really wants to lay it out. doesn't
Must have watched this
Well,
movie.
hey, you
once or
guys are
twice.
pulling this
he? Yeah,
bullshit with
man,
initials.
he's got a
Come on.
$5 word. He's gonna say it.
You
But
guys
Brian's,
are
Brian's
dropping,
got a bunch of Scrabble tiles. He
one
can
group
find a
after
band and a
another
song.
that I'm like, who the hell is the Gibson Brothers? Yeah, the
Okay.
sounds of Philadelphia.
Like, this doesn't spell anything. You don't tell us.
Seriously, all I can hear is like, it's 4 a.m. on public broadcasting. The sounds of Philadelphia with MFS TBUSCPA. Like,
My
okay,
God.
whatever. We're gonna go. Is there any better way to end the night than
Triple word
Last
score.
Stand by Donna Summer from
Last-
Boston?
Last Dance Donna Summer.
Yeah.
And even if she wasn't from Boston, she should be.
She is.
No, she's from Boston.
And her
I
sister,
swear to God, she
okay,
is.
her
Jay.
sister's coming this week to the gig, Jay. We'll have to
No.
talk about that.
Yeah, I swear.
That's
I know
okay.
I know we joke about that, but I swear she's from Roxbury, Massachusetts.
Yeah, so is Giorgio Moroder. He's from Boston.
And the Pope. Yeah. And
Well, yeah,
Daft
they're both.
Punk.
Everyone knows that. Come on.
Yeah.
One More Time was written
Father
by
Guido
Reverend
Sarducci
Fuzzies.
is from Boston.
oh,
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
Not sure about Father.
King Tut was from Boston.
that's some strange
Well,
things.
that Egypt is from Boston. Come on.
Yeah, Genghis Khan was from Boston. They're all from Boston. I hope you guys had fun tonight.
Yep. Good times.
Excellent.
So
A lot of great knowledge. Soak that in, kids.
Happy times. Thanks for watching. John's going to cut this off before